Hey, 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 it's the Church of R&K and I'm Rosemary, Nonny Night. How are you doing? How are you doing? Connection is weak. Why is connection weak? I have no idea. How do I make you strong? I don't know. What am I on? I am on Wi-Fi. I'm not sure why connection is weak. I wonder if I could... If I switch off Wi-Fi, will it either lose connection? Which you could do. Ooh, but connection, no. Connection is weak again. Ooh, maybe I should put it back on Wi-Fi. I have no idea. Okay, connection is fine. Okay, Church of R&K, Rosemary Night. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Yeah. Hello, 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 hello. Let's talk about love, man. Let's talk a little bit about love here because it's been on my mind today. Well, it's always on my mind in some ways. Everything I do in some ways is influenced by love in some way. I don't always consciously think of it, but it's always there in the back of my head somewhere. Just going to try and share this stuff as we start talking here. But before, no, we'll just start talking actually, because we're going to be watching some animal program in a second. So let me be done with this. I just really wanted to kind of reach out to you guys this evening. For me, I don't know what time it is for you. And just to remind you that you are actually very much loved. That you are, sometimes it feels as though you're not, okay? Sometimes it feels a little bit like you're... And if you had a day like my day today, which, okay, you know, it wasn't all that bad, really. But I have felt a bit judged. I felt a bit... Yeah, judged. Let's put it that way. Ultimately, which, yeah, whatever. Everybody has a right to opinion, so absolutely no problems there. However, it's brought me back to remembering that I am actually loved. That actually Spirit is there for me all the time. Always, always, always. Papa loves me. Thank the Lord. Basically, that even though sometimes I do crazy stuff or I receive crazy stuff or whatever. And this might be the case for you as well, that you might go through times or periods where you feel judged, you feel alone, you feel abandoned, you feel crazy. Today's a great day. It's Sunday still here. If you're in Australia, it's probably Monday already. But it's Sunday here. And it's a great day to remind yourself that actually you are valued and you are very much cared for, very much loved. And it's one of those topics that I'm always a little bit squeamish about talking about, probably to do with my own issues, basically. Because it always feels a bit like, oh, who wants to talk about love? It's a bit cheesy, really. Basically. It's a bit of a cheesy subject, really. But talk about it, I must. And so here we are talking about it a little bbit, basically. And I was kind of reading, because I'm trying to put together this whole program, which will be coming out tomorrow, so watch out for that. It's either tomorrow, yeah, it's good. I think it's going to be tomorrow. But it's all about love, ultimately, and it's in the context for entrepreneurs, because, yes, I've worked with quite a few people who, when it comes down to it, and I suppose I've worked with myself. Hello, Mel, how are you doing? That's how I used to feel about love. The truth is, I don't mind love itself. It's when I'm talking about it to other people, to you guys here. When I'm glad that you're actually speaking back to me here, because when I'm just talking out here, it feels a little bit like, Rosemary, everybody kind of expects you to talk about business or something, although I'm not sure anybody really expects me to talk about business. But romantic love anyway. No, this isn't romantic love, I suppose. It's more of an agape. Is it agape love or some kind of love, brotherly, something love, ultimately a love of yourself, a love of, yeah, just a general feeling of love for everything in your world, as well as yourself, first and foremost. Because a lot of people walking around not feeling very much loved themselves, not feeling accepted for who they are, always having to hide who they are. And yeah, for entrepreneurial leaders or entrepreneurs, it's incredibly hard to agape universal brotherly love. Absolutely. That's the kind of love I'm talking about. Because if not, you're going to struggle to actually do the things that you want to do. That's the truth of it. Because if you don't love yourself enough to think that your opinions matter, to think that you can get and have whatever it is that you decide that you want, then you won't do it. There will always be a struggle with getting the work done. There will always be a struggle to do the work at all. Eros, agape, philia, and storage. Storage? Is that how you spell that one? Okay. I know the other three. The storage one, I'm not so sure of. Did it text correct you, or spell correct you, or autocorrect, or am I just completely clueless, which is very possible. I am open to that as well. ultimately. But yes, there is a difference. Storage, or storgy. Is it storage? Whichever way. Well, cool that you know the four of them, frankly, because I don't know all four, but I did know there were four. I remember learning about this at secondary school in Nigeria sometime. But yes, thanks for sharing that, because that is it. But yeah, I was just thinking about how ultimately we lose love. It's such this journey of life that we're on. We do find ourselves losing the fact that we are, in fact, loved. We forget. Hey, Tess Vagaber, sorry if I got that pronunciation wrong. Lovely to have you here. We lose the feeling of love. We lose the fact that we are actually loved. We are born into love. Usually, okay, sometimes people are born, unfortunately, into a very bad situation, which then it's kind of fairly obvious that you're not going to be feeling all that loved, really. But for I would say the majority of people, they are born into love. You know, you're born into love, but the birth experience itself is a bit of a scary thing. Hello, I'm glad you're laughing if I pronounced it completely wrong. The birth experience itself can be a little bit, it's a bit of a shock to the system, I imagine. I still remember carrying my children, and I remember in my first child particularly, I remember taking her to a concert once, taking her in my tummy to a concert once, and it was really loud, and the drums came on like really loud, and the bass, and she jumped in my stomach, and I kept thinking, oh my God, I probably made her deaf, basically. I didn't. She can't actually hear. But it's like you experience so much already inside of the womb, okay? You come from somewhere, you come somehow in this nice warm place, and then one day you get oystered, you get shoved out into the world. It can be a bit of a painful experience, even if it's a normal one, basically. And that in itself sets something off in your mind that might make you start to think a little bit like, am I loved? Is there something wrong? What is going on here? And then you start to put meaning on things that have no meaning, actually it's just a newborn. You don't really completely understand what you feel. There's just something. There's just something, and that sets the tone already, okay? So if you are blessed enough that you then come into a great environment with people who care for you, then great. But there will be experiences, and we all go through these experiences, where maybe our parents are angry about something, okay? And then you suddenly take it on as there's something wrong with you. If you're unfortunate and maybe your parents went through divorce or something, and you take it on as there's something wrong with you, there's something about you causing these troubles, more and more reasons for you to lose love, more and more reasons for you to feel unloved, more and more reasons for you to think, how can I make all these people happy? Because obviously something about me being here has caused all of this stuff to happen, and it's not logical. It's not logical at all. It is just what happens in the mind of a child potentially, and there's no reason or rhyme necessarily to it, except there kind of is. When you're a child, you feel what you feel, right? You feel what you feel, and then you might be feeling what you're feeling, and people are trying to tell you not to feel what you're feeling, and so then you start to mistrust the way you feel as well, basically. Another reason to lose love. Because everybody's trying to make you feel better because they feel bad when you feel bad, and so therefore they're telling you that you don't feel what you feel, and you're trying to make them happy, so you try not to feel what you feel, but you feel it. You do, but you're trying to pretend you don't, and it's just kind of crazy. It gets all crazier and crazier and crazy, exactly. And then the second guessing and the overthinking starts coming in, because you're wondering, do I feel what I feel? Should I feel what I feel? Am I allowed to feel what I feel? Oh my gosh, and etc, etc, etc. Hello, Anna, how are you doing? And it becomes all kind of crazy stuff going on inside of your mind, and you start to lose love. Exactly, it's kind of funny and yet not, okay? It can be crazy funny when you think about it logically, but when it's happening inside of you, you're probably not even conscious that all of this stuff is happening. It's just happening until you try to come do something that you want to do, and you can't. Why? Because deep down inside of you, there is a lack of love. There is a feeling that you don't deserve any good thing, because all of this stuff has happened that you haven't been aware of. It's just been happening under the surface, kind of eating at you slowly, eating at your confidence, eating at your self-belief, eating at everything. And it makes you look at the world as if it's to be distrusted. It makes you look at the world as a very small, lack-filled place. And then it's just like, then you start looking outside of you for all kinds of solutions. And you're looking to people who are also going through all of the craziness as well, frankly. You know, they are trying to handle their own craziness, and you're looking to them for a solution. You're doomed, man. We're all doomed. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Anyway, I know that I went through all of that craziness. And you learn to please people, you learn to rebel against everybody because you're trying to find your space in the world. You're trying to get some attention. You're trying to figure out what you really feel, trying to accept yourself, but then at the same time thinking there must be something wrong with you, because if all of these things you've now taken on as the truth are the truth, then there's obviously something wrong with you if nobody can actually care for you. That's not actually to say that your parents didn't care for you, because maybe they did. Actually, okay, yes, some people have had very bad experiences for sure. But a lot of people, most people, actually, their experiences weren't that bad. But you still, for some people, you still come away feeling a little bit like, I don't know, something is not quite right about me. And so then you come to live out the call on your life. That was not supposed to happen. Was that as shocking to you as it was to me? My goodness, the whole thing just fell down. Let's try and put it back in place. Because then you come to try and live out the call on your life, and you can't. You find it incredibly hard to do that. You find it incredibly hard to actually pursue the dreams in your heart, because when it comes down to it, you don't think you're worthy, okay? And this goes, and I see it with people who have had really great childhoods as well, and they're not actually doing the thing that they're here to do at all. At all. So I think it's important to acknowledge these feelings and then learn to focus and look through a different lens. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, Tess Gomez says. Yes, absolutely, Mel. It is very true. And the problem for a lot of people is that nobody actually stays aware of this stuff for very long, or they try not to pay attention to it. But then what you don't pay attention to just keeps festering inside of you. And I'm not one for looking back all the time, you know. I just think that sometimes there are certain things you just need to acknowledge. Okay, just like Mel says there, acknowledge that there's some stuff. Doesn't mean you need to wallow in it. It just means acknowledge it so that you can heal, okay? So that you can move forward from it. Because a lot of people are stuck and they don't realize that they're stuck, okay? They just think they should just be able to get on with it. And yes, I am all for, you know, not to ruminate, but to work on healing the hurt, exactly, and then move on. Yes, do your work so it doesn't keep resurfacing. Absolutely. I mean, I don't think, it's kind of a wonderful blend of both ways. Yes, you are doing the work to keep moving forward, but you also have to acknowledge that there's stuff that needs to be looked at least, because awareness sometimes is sometimes all you need. Just to be aware that there's something there so that you can start to actually change things, okay? It is, again, I'll come back to what Mel said there, it is important to acknowledge these feelings and not just to gloss over them. I was always one for glossing over. I used to be pretty dang impatient with anybody that seemed to have any kind of issues whatsoever, basically, because I came from Nigeria, where really, when you're struggling to eat, you don't have time to be worried about your emotions, okay? It's the truth of the matter. So when I came to the UK first, I just really did think that a lot of people were just in their emotions too much. It's like all these crazy UK diseases, basically. That if you guys have no food, you won't be worried about this stuff. But then, you know what? The truth is I grew up and I recognized that even I carried a heck of a lot of wounds. I know there's still healing that is going on inside of me. I'm not scared of them anymore. I'm not scared of it anymore. I choose to allow love in. Okay, now for me personally, I very much know that God is completely for me. Now for some people, God is a scary word or whatever. I don't say God to isolate or to push anybody away. For me, God is love, okay? You may call it spirit, you may call it higher power, you may call it whatever you like. I call him Papa, basically, okay? And for me, that has been saving grace for me, okay? That has been incredible saving grace for me, and a source of freedom in ways that I cannot even begin to explain. I never quite understand how anybody who isn't spiritual in some way, I'm not sure how you handle this stuff, because you need to be able to see that all around us. I don't know, we're all connected. We're all, I don't know, God is everywhere. And to me, that means love is everywhere as well. And that makes such a huge difference to me, okay? Once I recognized fully just how accepted I was, having grown up feeling kind of yucky, feeling a bit dirty. I was brought up Catholic as well, so there's this whole you are made in sin and this and that and the other, so you start to feel a little bit unworthy, or a lot, basically. And it's working through that stuff and recognizing, actually, you know what, God made you and he made you good. He made you good. He made you good, okay? He made you good. And it's trying to come back to that and remind yourself of this and remind yourself that actually, universe is full of love. It isn't full of hatred and judgment and craziness, and not get caught up in all the rules and this is the way you must do it or else we will not accept you. That is just unloved people not loving people, basically. Like, it can be called all kinds of wonderful, amazing sounding stuff, especially with religion, but it's not. Love is love. There's just all the judgment and all of that kind of craziness. Maybe I'm just talking about it today because I'm kind of crazy. But it's like, we have to, I don't know, what am I saying? I don't even know what I'm saying. What I do? Yes, change your lens. Yes, okay, I agree. Change your lens. For me, definitely, that was the thing. That was the thing that changed everything for me, was actually that full recognition that I was loved. I was loved despite all the craziness that happened. I didn't need to jump through any hoops any longer. Who I was acceptable. Who I am is acceptable. I may be right, I may be wrong according to whoever sets those standards. But for today, I'm still loved though. Still loved. And so I don't need to hide who I am any longer. I don't need to pretend to, but it's still always an ongoing uncovering, an ongoing taking off the layers, becoming more who you were born to be over and over again. Just when you think you have exposed more of you and allowed more of the love in, you recognize there's another little hidden place over here where you're still trying to please people, where you're still trying to get attention by being something other than yourself, or trying to live up to other people's expectations of you because you think that's where your love is going to come from. Then you have to again change your lens. I'm loving you, Mel, today. I'm loving you every day, but it's like that. You have to again let the light in, so that you're again and again and again knowing that every part of you is loved. Every part of you is loved. Every part of you is loved. And I really want to get this across to people, because I do really believe it's one of those things that really holds people back. I'm very much about freedom, but it's hard to be free if you don't feel loved. It's hard to be free because you will keep living to other people's expectations of you. You'll keep living to the rules because that way you feel safe. Because if you've obeyed these rules, that you may not even recognize that you're obeying rules, okay? But you've kind of set these certain rules for yourself. These rules now become chains for you. They become a cage for you, but they're safe. And so you stay in there because you're scared about this big open space that could be love, but could also be unexpected, basically. And so you want to stay over there in the little cage, but it's like, in that little cage, you get a very small experience of life. Out here, yes, it's a little bit scary. You get a wider experience of life. You get to experiment with different things. You get to explore. You get to let that childlike curiosity inside of you come out and explore more of the universe, more of the world, more of the things that you're actually here to be and to do. It's just a bigger, wider space. But you have to allow yourself to experience it. You have to change your lens. You have to change your lens from thinking that there's something wrong with you, that you are not allowed, and all of that stuff, to, I'm okay, I can expand, I can be more, I can be who I am, because guess what? I am loved. Yes! I am loved. I am loved. There is no mistake that I can make that will take love away from me. There is no mistake that I can make that will make me less of anything. Because I am loved. And I'm always surrounded by spirit. Loved always. It's a good day to talk about love. I'm feeling it now. Do I remember what my affirmation was? It really was very short, but I'm not sure if I remember it now. No, what was it? very short, just 3 words. Okay, yes. You are loved. You are loved. You are loved. You are loved. God bless you too, my honey. I am loved. I am loved. I am loved. I am loved. I would love you guys to kind of take that. You're always good. God bless you. You're always good. Thank you, I think. Oh yeah, you know what? I'm receiving it. Thank you. The affirmation here is just to remind you, you remind yourself that I am loved. 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 When you start to find yourself trying to be something other than who you are, I am loved. When you start to find yourself thinking I have to hide who I am loved. I don't need to hide who I am. I am loved, man. I will show up. I will be me. I will, yeah, some people may not like me, but it doesn't matter because I am loved. I don't need to hide who I am. I don't need to be or pretend to be less than who I am. I don't need to play small for anybody's benefit. I don't need to hide. I don't need to blend in. I am loved. I no longer need to please anyone because I'm loved just the way I am. I am accepted. Hey, Shana. I am loved. I am surrounded by love. Everywhere I look, I am loved. Everywhere I am, I'm loved. I am 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 loved. I always have a vision of all of y'all shouting out loud in your houses. I am loved. Thank you very much, Barbara. I am loved. I am loved. I am loved. And I just speak it over you. You are loved. You are loved. Receive it now. You are loved. You are loved. Where anybody's ever told you to play smaller than who you are, where anybody's ever told you that you are less, I speak love over you now. You are loved. You are loved. Oh yes, you are loved. You are loved. And as Tess Forgiver says, we are loved. We are loved. Yes, we are. We are loved. We are loved. Oh yes, we are loved. We are loved. Oh, we are loved. We are loved. Guys, thank you very much But I want you to remember that today, okay? There were some of you just the afternoon, some of you last thing at night, some of you first thing in the morning, whatever time it is. You are loved, okay? You are loved. I'm sure there have been situations where you have felt less than that, you have felt in some way crazy, and I'm just trying to remind you that actually you were created fearfully, wonderfully made. There was no mistake made about you, okay? You are loved. Yes, girl! Yes, back at you as well. You are loved. I am loved. We are loved, okay? We are all loved. Let's just hold on to that, okay? Let's hold on to that. And sometimes it's literally a case of repeating it to yourself until it becomes a reality for you, okay? Yeah, there's all kinds of wonderful exercises that I'm sure you can do. But when it comes down to it, you know why you don't feel loved? It's because you've repeated to yourself for a very long time that there's something wrong with you, that people don't love you, that somebody, something, somewhere, somehow, something happened, and that has been a repetition. It's been spoken over you, by yourself mostly, over and over again, over and over again. So you know what? Let's replace that with I am loved. I am loved. That's it. Just keep reminding yourself over and over again. And you know what? For the stuff that needs to be worked through, be open to it showing up, but be open also to it being released. Okay? We don't need to wallow in it. We don't need to dwell in it forever, but we need to see it and let it go. See it, let it go. See it, let it go. It will be hard sometimes. There's some things that you guys just need to forgive some people for, okay? There's some stuff that just needs to be, I'm just going to let it go, let it go, let it go. And you're going to have to look at that stuff and it's going to bring tears to your eyes. It's going to hurt. You don't want to let that person go, but you got to let that person go so that you can be free, okay? I don't say this because it's easy. It's not always easy. It's not always easy to do this work that we need to do, but we want to be free, right? We want to be free. So therefore, we release everybody else. We release everybody else, whether it's parents, whether it's friends, whether it's partners, whether it's whatever, we release them so that we can be free. So that we can experience the fullness of love, so that we can then go on to live the life that we're here to live, okay? So that we can build the life that we choose to build, okay? It is your birthright. Freedom is your birthright. Abundance is your birthright. Love is the doorway, okay? Love is the doorway. Loving yourself, loving everything and everyone, but first and foremost, start with yourself. It's really difficult to love everybody else if you're struggling to love you, okay? So, one last time, guys. I am loved. I am loved. I am loved. I am loved, and you are loved. You are loved. You are loved. You are loved. We are loved. We are loved. We are loved. We are loved. Thank you, guys. I hope you take that with you. Repeat, 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 repeat. If I ever meet you in the flesh, I want you to sing it back at me, okay? Okay. Much love, Shana. Much love, Mel. Much love, all of y'all, basically. And the happy face, okay? I'll take that as a happiness. Woo! Basically. Okay, so on that note, guys, I'm going to bring this to a close. And just kind of send out love to all of y'all. That is the purpose and the passion of everything, okay? If we would all live loved, everything changes. So let's choose it again and again and again. Let's tap back into spirit within us, speaking love, be love, all of that stuff. Okay, it's time to fight for and to deliberately design the life you're born to live, because you absolutely want to. And I'll make this invitation to you to come and join me in the Deliberate Millionaire Fast Track Club. If you are that artist, singer, musician, book person, or you are an entrepreneur and you know that you're ready to grow your business and you're ready to do some stuff that is a little bit different from what everybody else on the planet is doing, basically, but that will cause you to do things that suit you, then come join in. I feel high. Good. I'm glad you do. I'm glad that you do. Excellent stuff. So come join us in the club. Let's take you to the next level. Okay, let's go together. It's RosemaryNonnyKnight.com/DM fast track. Guys, just be loved, feel loved, breathe it in, and know it is so. It's been an absolute pleasure hanging out with you this evening. Have a great rest of the day wherever you are on the planet. Much love. Until the next time, remember that you are loved, okay?